Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Who's never heard me perform before? That's a lie. This is a performance minutes ago. I don't really like talking about myself, but I have business cards in my pocket. I have a website called ReadyVoyeurism.com. In this lovely Zelda-themed cinch backpack, I have a chapbook that is $5.
Only $5?
Yes, only $5. So, but before I even get into that, if you don't even buy anything for me, whatever, buy something for me, please. Please. Keep this going. All right. Poems, right? That's what we're here for. Poems. Everybody knows what poetry is. It's my take. Instantly, it's limited. Once I get the inkling to describe something with the ink, I lose a bit of divinity and beauty in the nondescript. I try to find the right words to say. Yet as soon as I try to write words to say, much of the meaning I mean to portray goes silently astray. You see, a poem is all those hesitations and inhales and exhales to fill the space between cadence. Breaths of life as I read and recite one's personal crafting of otherworldly stimulation. A poem is a statement that's invalid. Granted, some aren't blessed with the talent, but if something has someone's heartfelt emotion in it, how can it be whack? Only the Most High can decide that. Shit, I know plenty of dope artists who pose as if they write with soul when they're more like mannequins, but I'm not gonna get into that. A poem is a kiss to replace a timid answer. Nothing was uttered, yet both parties understand. Divine inspiration with human interpretation means a poem already starts off tainted. It's hypocritical, authentically deceitful, and not because the author means to, rather, regardless of individual, those ideas used in the grand scheme of things have been made minuscule. Because you see, poems end, ideas don't. So if I had any plan of composing the greatest thing ever penned, I won't. I can only hope to do the best I can to scheme craft with how I'm feeling, add a little rhyme to the reason, even though I'm not close to being anything in anything I've ever wrote. You see, a poem is a lie. Truthfully written viewpoints cloaked within the language's disguise, and from the margins to punctuation, poetry is the development of a thought confined. A poem is a search for the right words to describe the elements and aspects of the simplicity and complexity of life. That's what poetry is to me. Someone else could see it differently and be absolutely right.
All right.
Interestingly enough, that defines how I feel about sex poems. Never as good a lover as you write about. And I happen to have sex poems. So, poem. She said, "Look at me," and I saw the geometry of a potential orgasm, the shape of things to come. The way her hips swung, swaying like a pendulum, indicating her taste and position, she wants the ride of her life. Or is the ride of mine, however the saying is spun for this situation. In addition, her eyes flash the cravings of that proverbial sum. You see, they call it the bedroom stare, but she'll apply it anywhere. Bed, shower. Shit, I'll just prop her up on the kitchen counter where she said, "Kiss me," and did that puckered face thing, trying to be cute, right? Yet as soon as her eyes were sealed and she leaned in for a smooch, I locked lips with the ones connected to her clitoris and addressed them Frenchly. I watched her inhibitions crumble as her knees buckled. I knocked her off her feet while they were dangling in the air. Her face went from puckered to smothered in ecstasy. Gasp of breath, thighs as earmuffs, her back arches while I have her fruit engulfed. Getting my fill, I finally fulfill her request to be kissed. Kissing her with remnants of her on my tongue, dripping to my chin, no more commands from her. She just wants me in and I wear her legs like a belt. Waist interwoven and ankles are locked. Going without rest because her cream doesn't stop with the mixing of our black coffee, and we do it to the max, well, to the last drop, or at least until the cops come knocking. Doing more than little something. Some things need to be addressed whenever, wherever, and whatever. You see, this woman's work is worth it. And I'm fortunate to have her permission for my ascension to her temples of worship. Whispers to moans, as if she owed and owed of odes to make sure her approval was heard. Bite marks on my neck and claws in my back, the feline has pounced, and in more ways than one, she's latched herself onto me while her kitties purr. And after we came down from euphoria, she said, love me, and I couldn't. Or I wouldn't. I'm not sure which is right, but either way, I did it. See, here's the thing. The joining of bodies is lovely, but love certainly isn't.
All right.
Okay, so, yeah, poems. I'm sorry, I don't do the monologue thing. But I don't have kids. I know that's kind of random. Flow with me on this, please. Flow with me on this. I don't have kids. One of the things I do not like in terms of us as young black men my age is the fact that they say they do not want daughters. Not that they prefer to have a son, but they specifically say, I don't want a daughter. It bugs the hell out of me. I used to be one of those cats, and I realized how foolish that was. I wrote a poem about it.